Okay, I'm David Schied, and 67 years old, a quad amputee, and loving every bit of it. You know, I'm getting the most out of life that I can possibly do with what I got. Hey there. The weekend before that, I felt like I had the flu. It was a superbug, and something that turned to sepsis. And all my internal organs were shut down. They had to put me into an induced coma. It was just eventually with the blood thinners, my brain hemorrhaged. And at that point, they decided to stop everything and see if I live or die. They had to take me out of an induced coma just long enough to give me a choice. Choice was, I keep my legs and I will die, or I lose my legs and I still might die. And the only thing I could think of was that I have a son in college. I want to see him graduate. And so I said, yeah, do whatever you need to do. I want to take the only chance that I have, you know, to see him graduate, and I did. I was there with my camera and got to see him graduate, yeah. I used to be an athlete. You know, when I was aspiring for the film industry, you know, I always had a philosophy, well, if you shoot for the moon, if you shoot for the stars, you're at least going to get up there somewhere, you know? Everybody has a dream. I was lucky, I think, to have been able to work out with Chuck Norris right away when I was first starting the film industry. I ran into him a whole lot of times out there, and he invited me to his home one time, and I got to work out with him, a group of people there. And so when I said that I was just going to go out and see what I could do, and my coach told me, well, if you get out there, look up Patrick Swayze. Patsy Swayze had invited me to come to her school. And one of the first things she did was invite me to a dinner. She said, you want to meet Patrick? Okay. It was right after Dirty Dancing. I didn't get to spend that much time with Patrick, but on I think the picture that we had, that was a fundraiser for Patsy, his mom. They were doing something for the theater group in the small town that we were in. But it's this spot right there. I wanted something that I could walk in, but run if I needed to.
So he came in, he was asking, you know, hey, I would like a leg that kind of does everything that I would like to do. So trying to find a happy medium that while it might not be the best foot for walking or the best foot for running or the best foot for acrobatics, it's something that'll allow him to do everything. So trying to find something that works for each individual person, I think, is really important so that they can continue to live their life how they want to live. There is no can't. The technology is so good now that if you find the right thing, you can do anything you can dream of.
Riley was really good about listening to and trying to see how what she could provide to me is going to fit into the daily life that I hope to live. Mm-hmm. And she kind of helped that dream to come true.
So being able to give somebody independence, to see that smile on their face and them going, I believe I can do this, you know, that's what made me want to do this job initially with one of the very first patients I saw getting her leg, to, you know, David being able to jump, to do the grapevine, to skip, which honestly is not something most 67-year-olds can do, is so rewarding. And just, you know, he said, and both him and the First Lady have said, and I think it's great, I get to do what I want to do now. I'm not limited anymore. They have a prosthetic still, so there's still some limitations, but that's not what's holding them back anymore.
Hey, ladies. They're the story behind every amputee. I want to be an inspiration to other people, and for people that, you know, some people, I did myself, look at this situation when I'm laying in bed and there's no legs there. And, you know, how do you give up that? You know, I was 60 or so at the time. What's my life ahead of me at this point? But I've been finding that with good people around me, and a faith in a higher power that it gives me incentive that I hope to give to other people, to know that life is good.